Live and on demand from the WNY News Now studios in downtown Jamestown. This is WNY News Now.
And thanks for joining us for WNY News Now on this Tuesday. I'm Justin Gould.
And I'm Matt Hummel. Happening now, a Jamestown man is behind bars following a domestic incident yesterday. Details coming up.
Plus, part of Route 60 will be renamed in honor of a fallen Jamestown hero. And we speak to patrons of Ruby Tuesday in Lakewood after the restaurant abruptly closed. But first, Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter is standing by with a first.
Hey, Justin and Matt, and happy Tuesday, everybody. Hope you all had a wonderful weekend, of course, the holiday weekend of Labor Day yesterday. Here's a live look coming from the Warren City Bank Sky Vision camera. A few sun and clouds overhead, and that's really going to be the story throughout the day today. Now, there's nothing going on across western New York right now, but this is part of the next system that's going to be heading our way tonight through early tomorrow. That's going to bring us some rain overnight tonight, which some of us actually do need a little bit of rain still. We had a little bit of rain last night. Sinclairville, you're the winner at less than an inch of rain last night. Kennedy at a little more than a half an inch. Mayville also more than a half an inch there. Jamestown officially at the airport gauged 1/100th of an inch. That's 0.01 inches, so it doesn't show up here because it's cut up because it's really a low amount. 69 was our high on Labor Day. We should have been near 76 degrees, and we're going to be nowhere near this record today. And again, there's that rain of 1/100th of an inch officially in the rain gauge at the airport. So hour by hour, we'll call today sun and clouds throughout the day. Temperature should make it into the lower to mid 70s through the afternoon, but more rain returns, but fall really comes our way over the next 7. We'll talk about it later in the show. Justin and Matt.
This is WNY News Now with live breaking news.
All right, Dakota, thank you. We start with a developing story out of Lakewood. The local Ruby Tuesdays has closed. WNY News Now visited the location this morning, and a sign on the door confirmed that the restaurant has closed its doors for good. Now, we spoke with customers who hope to eat at the establishment today. They say they were shocked to see the sign on the door.
I was quite surprised. It's a shame because I think that's happening across the United States, that especially in small rural areas, that places are going out of business. And this is just seems like probably another one that's followed that same route.
Now, the company says those with questions can visit rubytuesday.com and click on the Contact Us option. We've reached out to the store, but they have not gotten back to us yet.
Our top story, meanwhile, a Jamestown man faces multiple charges following a domestic incident at an Allendale Avenue address yesterday. Jamestown police say 24-year-old Christopher Vega Rivera, pictured here, allegedly restrained a victim physically and damaged property in front of the victim's 2 children. In addition, Vega Rivera allegedly destroyed the victim's cell phone while they were trying to call 911 for help. Officers say Vega Rivera allegedly refused to follow their commands and tried to pull away from them. He reportedly has a previous conviction in the last 5 years for domestic violence. He faces several charges, including unlawful imprisonment and endangering the welfare of a child. Vega Rivera was taken to Jamestown City Jail to await arraignment.
And New York State police say a Jamestown man was charged on August 23rd after he allegedly left a victim several voicemails threatening to assault her and burn down her home. New York State police tell us they responded to a residence in Randolph for a report of an aggravated harassment. 29-year-old Robert Baker was subsequently arrested at his Jamestown residence, processed at state police barracks in Jamestown, and arraigned in the town of Randolph court. Police said Baker was released on his own recognizance and is scheduled to appear in the town of Randolph court next month on a charge of second-degree aggravated harassment.
A part of Route 60 in the town of Kyantone has been named in honor of a Jamestown hero killed in the line of duty. New York State Governor Andrew Cuomo last week signed legislation naming Route 60 from the Jamestown City line to Route 62 in the town of Kyantone in honor of Private Charles Cooper, Jr. Private Cooper, a Jamestown High School graduate, was killed by a roadside bomb back in April 2002 while serving in Operation Iraqi Freedom. The 19-year-old received a Purple Heart during a previous incident before returning to active duty. Now, officials say signs for the Private Charles S. Cooper Jr. Highway should be installed in the coming months.
Well, summer vacation has officially come to an end, and that means new routine for children heading back to school. Mandy Gaithner has more on how to make it painless as possible in today's Health Minute.
I was quite surprised.
Heading back to the classroom isn't always easy.
Making changes in your routine requires a very conscious effort and realizing that it's going to take a few weeks of it being kind of difficult as you're getting into these new habits, but being very consistent is really the key to doing it.
Dr. Stephanie Walsh with Children's Healthcare of Atlanta says the first thing to focus on, your child's sleep schedule.
Regular sleep, consistent sleep is so important on multiple levels as far as even just success in school, but even just regulating emotions along the day.
Summer bedtimes tend to be later. To change that, start sending your child to bed 15 to 30 minutes earlier every few days leading up to the first day of school. But Walsh warns it could take up to 2 weeks to change your child's sleep pattern.
So if they're going to bed at midnight and you really want them in bed by 10, you have to think about how long that's going to take and then start that process ahead of time.
Breakfast, another important part of the back-to-school routine. Making sure your child eats each morning will help them focus throughout the day. While going back to school can be stressful, Walsh says patience will help make it painless as possible. I'm Mandy Gaither reporting.
All right, Mandy, thank you. Now, talking to your child about why you're making changes to the routine and setting clear expectations may also help. Jamestown Public Schools returned to class on Thursday, along with many other districts in our area. And Matt, Jamestown Public School officials remind parents that through a partnership with New York State, the district is able to offer breakfast and lunch at no charge to the students or their family. To learn more about that, you can visit the school's website. We have links right now on WNY
I
News
can't
Now.
believe we're at that time of the year already.
I know, it's crazy. It's September. Here we are. I felt like we just entered June. Where did that go? Happy Tuesday to all of you. Hopefully we're doing well, coming off of a Labor Day weekend, and I think a lot of people probably are a little shocked at the news to hear that this morning the Ruby Tuesday location in Lakewood has closed. WNY News Now got a hot tip from a long-time viewer here, and we went to the location to check it out, and to the surprise of many in that area, they are closed. There was a sign posted on the door thanking the patrons for their time here, and they look forward to seeing them at other Ruby Tuesday locations. And Matt, I got to say that Ruby Tuesday is one of my favorite restaurants. In fact, I was just there on Friday and chatting it up with a waitress. She said that they are getting ready to offer new menu options as they head into the fall. So there was a number of items off of their list. For example, my girlfriend tried to order the beef on wick and was unable to because they didn't have it available. She said it's because they've taken it off the menu to offer new options. And now this, today. So, for me, I just hope that the staff was given the proper time. We don't know really that's much more than what we've reported, because I know in the Friendly situation, I covered that story, and there was a crying waitress who was upset that she tried to go to work and found the door locked, saying they were closed.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was thinking about that too, and looking through the comments already, and it's only been a half hour,
Right?
Yeah,
Not even. Really.
I mean, the biggest things I see are shock, disappointment. And the third is not surprised because of alleged stuff happening with corporate. I mean, I don't know for certain. I mean, but you could tell when something like this happens, you get that boiling melting pot, like the mixture of emotions. And what happens next?
Right.
New place? Justin,
Maybe.
are you going to open a restaurant?
I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, that'd be a good investment. We have a story coming up talking about real estate and how more people are investing in that. I was joking with you this morning, so we'll see. Let's check in with the comments. Adam says, so Ruby Tuesday closed on a Tuesday. Well, that's convenient. And Adam, a lot of people, specifically the man that I talked to when we were there, he and his wife were trying to take advantage of their Tuesday discount deals.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but that
irony there.
That was great.
Joseph, he says maybe a new chain could take over. Yeah, that would be something. Chuck, this is a great observation. He says Lakewood really taken some big losses in the last few months. You're right about that, Chuck. Certainly has with the Kmart, with the Sears, and with the other local restaurant closing. As well.
It's in my head.
The Elfies and now Ruby Tuesdays. Hello to Beth. Thanks for tuning in here on this Tuesday rather. Happy Tuesday to Wendy. I don't know why I was thinking it's Monday. Probably because we were off yesterday. That was good. I'm sure a lot of people are trying to get back on a Tuesday that feels like a Monday.
Yep.
Hello to Connie and Corey as well. Thanks so much for tuning in. Coming up, the latest on Hurricane Dorian and its updated path.
But first, attendance at the New York State Fair has hit a new record for the 4th year in a row. Dakota.
And we'll take a live look from the HD News Now cam. Puffy white clouds in the sky right now. We are perched at 68, but that temperature will go into the 70s through the afternoon. News Now at noon continues in a minute, so don't go away. Want weather now? Download the WNY News Now mobile app and stay up to date on severe weather alerts. Plus, anytime hazardous weather strikes, stick with the Southern Tier's only 24/7 streaming network that keeps you safe. You're all in a tornado warning, so now is the time to go to a safe place, small room, lowest floor, near the center, away from windows. What are you waiting for? Download the WNY News Now mobile app today. It's free in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
Happening now, attendance at the New York State Fair has hit a new record for the 4th year in a row. New York State Governor Andrew Cuomo says that at least 1.33 million people turned out to the fair during its 13-day run. He spoke several hours before the fair ended so that the numbers could rise even further. Attendance last year was a bit under 1.28 million people. The numbers are totals for the fair's 13-day run in the town of Geddes. That's near Syracuse. This fair also broke 3 records for attendance on a single day. The governor's office noted that this year's fair featured more free entertainment, including a new show focusing on bears and another featuring a tall robot. Meanwhile, the fair's Latin Culture Festival was expanded as well.
Hurricane Dorian has been wreaking havoc on the Bahamas for over 24 hours, swirling in place, causing massive flooding, damage, and now some reported fatalities. While the strength of the storm has been downgraded, it is still a major hurricane, and authorities are warning residents along the Florida coast to expect dangerous weather conditions. Nadia Romero is in Jensen Beach with the latest.
The winds and the rain are definitely picking up. Take a look behind me. You can see these waves are getting bigger and they're crashing ashore. They're actually coming up on the roadway now, bringing debris with them. We're expecting a storm surge of 4 to 7 feet, and I can tell you it looks like we're already there. We have mandatory evacuation orders in place for the barrier islands with some 700 people in shelters. After days of fluctuating forecasts, new projections, and dire warnings from officials, Dorian is slowly creeping its way toward the U.S. mainland.
Even if it stays off the coast, of 4 to 7 feet of storm surge. I mean, that is deadly.
Dorian has shown its potential for massive destruction, hounding the Bahamas for more than 24 hours, leaving buildings in ruin, residents without homes.
Basically, just debris everywhere. Downstairs, everything is completely destroyed. Wiped out.
And some families without loved ones.
When we came across our neighbor's house, they told us that they passed away, but we are not certain if the home isn't there anymore, so we don't know.
The storm is expected to brush along Florida's east coast before heading north, bringing the potential for significant damage and life-threatening storm surge to Georgia and the Carolinas.
Because this storm is anticipated to pick up speed, Time is running out to get ready.
For now, residents in Florida have done all they can do to prepare. Some have evacuated, others are hunkering down and waiting it out.
A lot of people left Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So the ones that are sheltering in place, they know the risks, and we're all in this together.
And we know there are more people in danger now, and that's why North Carolina is joining 4 other states under a state of emergency as Dorian tracks north. In Jensen Beach, Florida, I'm Nadia Romero reporting.
Alrighty, Nadia, thank you. And with a powerful storm like Dorian, the dangers don't end when the sky clears. A major post-hurricane concern is flooding, and regardless of where or how an area gets saturated, in addition to dangers for drivers, standing floodwaters can pose other health risks. CDC says it's important to protect yourself with rubber boots, rubber gloves, and goggles if you need to enter floodwaters at all.
Well, in health news, the measles outbreak continues to grow. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, as of last week, the number of cases has reached 1,234. That number is 19 cases more than the previous week. The cases have been confirmed in 31 states. The CDC says most are among people who are not vaccinated against measles. It also reported more than 75% of those cases were linked to outbreaks here in New York State. The director at the CDC says there's a reasonable chance the U.S. will lose its measles elimination status in October because of the ongoing outbreak here in New York.
When it comes to investing money, where are you putting your hard-earned cash? A new survey reveals that real estate tops the list of long-term investments. And in today's Consumer Watch, experts share their top reasons for investing in property.
I want you to deal with your problems by becoming rich.
Hollywood has glamorized making fast money on stocks, but they're no longer America's favorite long-term investment. A new Bankrate survey finds real estate is king, and real estate experts are not surprised.
It's not sexy like some of these cryptocurrencies might be or when the stock market has a big run. But that's also why I love it. It is much more predictable than other asset classes, and you make money in several different ways.
Stocks ranked a distant second in the survey. Cash investments like a savings account finished third, followed by gold and precious metals. Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies ranked the lowest in the survey. If you're thinking about investing in property, experts say take advantage of historically low interest rates and buy a rental property and get tenants to pay off your mortgage.
The easiest way that you could ever become a millionaire is to take out $1 million in real estate debt and let somebody else pay it off for you.
Experts also say real estate is a hedge against inflation. As the house goes up in value, rents also climb, but your mortgage payment stays the same.
That creates a difference in how much you're paying versus how much you're earning. And the bigger of a difference that you get, the more money that you're able to make.
For Consumer Watch, I'm Mary Maloney.
Alrighty, Mary, thank you. And according to the Bankrate survey, Justin, millennials are the most drawn to real estate as a long-term investment compared to any other generation.
That's very interesting statistic there. Interesting to see kind of where that goes, because I know for myself, finding, say, a nice apartment in the Jamestown area has found to be very difficult.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So if you're able to find good tenants and have a good house and rent it out, there will be a demand, at least in my experience. So interesting report, nevertheless. Happy Tuesday to all of you. Hopefully you are doing well. It is not a happy Tuesday at Ruby Tuesday, though, in Lakewood. As our top story has been reporting, that establishment is now closed, according to a sign that was posted on the door this morning. Customers reacting to WNY News Now, telling us that they're shocked. We will have much more on this as we learn more and seek more comment from the restaurant owners as we get it throughout the day. Coming up next, Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter. He's standing by with a live look at this week's weather forecast.
And later on, Krispy Kreme is bringing back a delicious fall treat. Details ahead as News Now continues.
Now open in downtown Jamestown, Pearl City Hops, restaurant and tavern.
I have some real old-timey dishes on there that I'm just giving new life to. Like there's a shepherd's pie on there that's going to have some bison in it. real thick hearty gravy. Then I'm also doing beer flights. We're pairing it with a set of sliders, a set of tacos, and a set of mini rolls. So everything's gonna have its own pair, so you can get a taste of a little bit of everything and all the beers. We don't want to be known as the restaurant in the hotel. We want to be known as Pearl City Hops.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now. First Defense Weather, the Southern Tier's only live and local weather source. Now, here's Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter.
And welcome back, and we'll take a look at the high temperatures from Labor Day yesterday. Jamestown officially at 69, Dunkirk at 74, also the same thing over in Erie. Olean, you stayed in the 60s all day at 66 degrees. Today is the first day of school for some school districts, and tomorrow, I believe, tomorrow, some school districts, I believe, do start, as well as Thursday. So here's the back-to-school forecast. More widespread rain showers tomorrow, around 70 degrees. Thursday, Jamestown officially starts on Thursday. 69 degrees will be the high temperature, but dry and cool. Look at that high of 69. That is well below average for this time of the year. Now, we'll take you through a future scan through the day. This you see right here is not going to happen, so don't worry about that. The day is going to be dry, but this is going to happen, though. This is in association with a front that's going to be moving on through, so some widespread showers and storms. Again, when you get into these darker colors here, that starts to indicate the better chance for possibly some storm activity. That'll continue into the morning hours tomorrow, and then tomorrow afternoon should be dry again. I think the model's way overdoing some of that, so what you see there is not going to happen. It's mainly going to be tonight, and then early tomorrow morning we'll see the better chance for some rain showers, a little bit of a soaking rain as well. So again, on the radar imagery, you can see it right here. This is the next system that's heading our way, and that is moving in our direction. Here's Dorian right here. It's coming in radar range, and it actually looks a lot better on the satellite imagery, so we'll flip it here. This is the current information. Notice how it's just spinning and it's not really moving. The northwest motion, it has started moving again. It was stationary, but it's only moving at 2 miles an hour. It's down to a category 2 because, again, it's been sitting here circulating. The water is getting cooler around it, so the cooler water is helping to kind of weaken this off. I don't like the term weakening because it's still a very dangerous storm at 110 miles an hour. Here's the current forecast track from the Hurricane Center. It's still going to be a category 2 storm. It'll start to take this northward track, it looks like, by tonight and then tomorrow, and then it's going to ride pretty much along and it's mainly going to ride along the east coast, and it's going to ultimately go up into Canada here, still as a hurricane. So it's going to be farther out, we think. It's not going to make U.S. mainland landfall at this point, but it could cause some rough surf along the U.S. Atlantic coast. Now, the big question is, why did Dorian stall out? It had to do with this. This was well forecast. We have 2 areas of high pressure, a high pressure ridge. Dorian hit this high pressure ridge, and because high pressure is sinking air, the air collapsed around the center of circulation so it can't move. So it can just sit there and spin. So that's the reason why it actually stalled out, was because high pressure, it was blocking it. This high pressure is going to move out, and then Dorian will start to move again as we get into the next 12 to 24 hours. Zone forecast very quickly. Eastern areas here, temperatures here, mid to upper 70s. Some of these numbers might be a tad bit overdone depending on how much sunshine we get, but clouds and sun will share the sky, but a little bit more humid throughout the day. Next 7 days of your life are coming up right now, and 70 tomorrow, 69 on Thursday. Back to school. Most schools start on Thursday. Look at those lows down into the 40s. That's feeling like fall. The weekend down into the 60s. Dorian actually brings cooler air in as it moves across the Atlantic coast, and next Monday, 69. Sports is next. I'll go ahead.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news. WNY Sports Now is powered by Phone Zone of Jamestown. With the largest inventory around, we buy and sell our own merchandise at a price that can't be beat. Have a broken screen? We'll fix it. Learn more at phonezoneshop.com.
Happy Tuesday, sports fans, and welcome back to WNY News Now. I'm Norm Rodriguez with a look at sports. Today, the Jamestown Red Raiders varsity tennis team, JV and varsity volleyball teams, varsity girls soccer, and the JV and varsity boys soccer teams have games today. The tennis team will be hosting the merged Olean Portville team at 4 o'clock. JHS's varsity girls soccer team will host the Randolph Cardinals with a 4:30 p.m. start time. The JV and varsity boys soccer teams will be on the road tonight for conference games versus the Clarence Red Devils, with the JV game starting at 5:30 and varsity at 7:30. Both JV and varsity volleyball teams will be hosting the Williamsville North Spartans tonight, with the JV game at 6 o'clock and varsity at 8 o'clock. Tomorrow morning at 11:45, the Jamestown Rebels will be at JCC once again to reel in more interns. Just like the other employer visit, cornhole and yard pong will be provided along with meeting team recruiters to secure a possible internship. Internship requirements include having to work Friday and Saturday nights, as well as late hours during Rebels games. The Rebels will begin their preseason on Friday at 2 p.m., hosting the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Knights. Tonight, with a 6:35 first pitch, the New York Yankees will play their second game of a 3-game home series versus the Texas Rangers. Losing the first game of the series 7-0 on Sunday, snapping a 220-game streak of scoring at least one run, the Yanks are still 9 games ahead of the second-place Tampa Bay Rays for first in the AL East at 90-49. Meanwhile, the Rangers at 68-71 are middle of the road in the AL West. James Paxton is tabbed as the Yanks starting pitcher against Ariel Jurado. The game will be televised on the Yes Network. That's it for sports today. Justin and Matt, back to you.
Alrighty, Norm, thank you very much. Well, Krispy Kreme is bringing back its pumpkin spice glazed donut just in time for the fall, and it's hoping to knock out its competition. The chain says you can bring in a not-so-tasty pumpkin spice-flavored treat and trade it for one of their donuts for free. This year, Krispy Kreme has 3 varieties to choose from. The pumpkin spice donut is filled with a specialty-made cream cheese. There are also a pumpkin-spiced glazed donut and a pumpkin spice cake donut as well. Now, although you better hurry because these treats won't last long, they will only be available until September 8th. The nearest Krispy Kreme is in Erie, Pennsylvania. That's quite an interesting deal. So you could bring them in a donut from a competitor and get one for free.
Oh, hopefully they... Oh, I won't say it. Never mind.
Well, I'm thinking, could we eat like part of the donut and then give them just like half of it and get another donut? Or that
Speaking of eating donuts, have you ever ate like a piece of donut as a kid and you thought it was a telephone and you put it up to your ear because it looks like a TV, not a TV, but a telephone receiver?
I've done that with bananas.
When you eat into a donut.
But not donuts, though. That's pretty cool. I've done it with bananas, but it just goes to show you that Dakota and I probably have lost our marbles.
Yeah.
Or never had them to begin with.
Yeah. I got up, I got up this morning. I got my bikini wax. All right, anyway, let's go to weather here since I'm getting in trouble here. Let's take a look at that 7 days. So back to school pretty much today through Thursday. Most schools start Thursday, and Thursday, 69 degrees. But Dorian, as it moves up the Atlantic coast over the weekend, brings us some cooler air. Look at that, mid-60s or lower 60s by Sunday. We shouldn't see a high temperature like that until October, but fall is fast approaching, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. It seems like it was just June. I've noticed that before in the broadcast, but September, here we are. Mm-hmm. Take it or leave it. All right, guys, thank you. That's going to do it for us today. News continues 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com. We leave you with a live look over Chautauqua Lake. Be sure to stay in the know when you're on the go by downloading the WNY News Now mobile app. It's free right now on the Apple App Store and Google Play Store.